Good morning, kiddos. So today's lesson is about potential and kinetic energy. Sounds very simple, but there are some basic concepts that kind of get confusing a little bit. So I want to make sure that I clarify so you truly understand what that means. Okay, so welcome to the farm. I know I told you guys a while back that I didn't have internet. That's because we have just moved out to the country, and yeah, we're building a house out here, so I'm a farm girl now, I guess, something like that. Anyway, we're going to use this softball to kind of demonstrate some things. Now, the first thing I want you to notice is if I put this softball on the ground, okay, I'm just going to lay it down on the ground. You guys see it laying there, right? Yep. Does it have any energy right now? Kind of like you when you're laying on that couch, eating that bag of chips and you're not moving, you probably don't have any energy, right? That ball doesn't have any energy. It doesn't have any potential, and it doesn't have any kinetic energy. That's where some people get confused with potential energy. They think, well, it has potential because it's at rest. Potential energy has to have some other factors. If you look at the formula to calculate GPE, which is gravitational potential energy, has to have three things. It has to have a mass. Well, that softball has a mass, right? It has to have height. Right now, that ball is laying on the ground. It has no height. So therefore, if you put a 0 in for that variable and multiplied everything else out, you're going to get 0. It has no potential energy. So remember, just because something's at rest does not mean it has energy. Now, if I take this ball and I give it some height, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put it in this tree right here. Now, let's think about my formula. It has a mass, right? Yep. It has some height now. I'm not sure what that height is. I don't have my tape measure out here. And the third variable is gravity. Now, gravity can pull it down now because it's in a position to be pulled down. So if I let it go, gravity's going to pull it down. Mass times gravity times height means now that object had potential energy, had the potential to be moved. It was stored energy because of its position, not laying on the ground. Now, once it's up there and starts to move, once it gets about right here and gravity's pulling it down, it doesn't have as much potential energy now because it's beginning to move. Once it begins to move, part of that potential energy starts turning into kinetic, okay? It's moving. I have more kinetic. Good morning. About halfway, guess what? Before it hits the ground, I have both. It's still got position of height to be pulled down, so it's got some GPE, and now it's got some kinetic energy also. And right before it hits the ground, whoop, all kinetic. Okay, because there is no more position. So right before, that's why it says that lowest point. The lowest point means right before it hits and gravity pulls it to the ground, it doesn't have any potential anymore. It's all kinetic. Now, if you added those two together, that is all the energy that object has, whether it's at rest or whether it's moving. So make sure you understand the two of those, that if something's laying on the ground, it doesn't have any height. It can't have any stored energy at that time. Now, if it was laying on the ground and I come and kick it, guess what I just did? I added energy to it. It wasn't stored energy in the ball. It was my energy transferring from my kick to that ball, making it move. And you've also learned about transfer of energy. Energy can move from one thing to another. It can change. And the ball, if I kicked it and it gets to rolling around the ground, well, then a little bit of that energy is lost for friction of it rolling on the ground, or it transfers into a little heat maybe. I'm not going to kick very hard, so it's not going to be very much. So I hope that helps you understand it a little bit better. I hope you guys have been doing well. I've missed you so much, and I'm sorry I haven't been getting my videos out, but like I said, I just got internet. And just got it working. We had it working, and then all of a sudden my husband thought that the wire that they used, they put a new one in, and they did not. It was an old one. And so they tied into an old one. I don't know why. Well, he cut it thinking that they didn't need it. Well, knocked my internet back out again. So, but we're up and running. This is the barn. Yep, I'm planting some tomatoes because it's supposed to rain today. So I hope you guys are enjoying this gorgeous weather. If you look right on top of that hill right there, that's where my house will be. I'm down behind where the house is, and the creek's back there behind the barn. This barn won't stay. We'll actually tear this one down and build another one, but it was already on the property, so we're just gonna go with it right now. I can hear my little puppy dog hollering at me over there. I don't know if y'all can hear her or not. She's got this little high-pitched voice, but she thinks she's supposed to be with me every second of the day. But when I'm out here, I can't bring her out. She has this fantail that flashes around, and there are chicken hawks out here, and they think she's a chicken.